What's up, people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, guys. If you are old on this channel, you already do know my name, and if you are new, this is the Anointing Village Boy who is doing YouTube. Thank you so much for joining this platform. Guys, if you didn't know, my name is Milton Fonkwa, and on this channel we do talk about education and lifestyle. Alright, thank you so much, guys, for joining. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you some of the things no one will tell you about studying in North Cyprus as an international student. Alright, so today's topic is about what no one tells you about studying in North Cyprus. There are a couple of things you need to know if you are a student or an international student who is studying in North Cyprus, or who intend to move to Northern Cyprus to study. And the first thing you need to know is you are going to read. Yeah, of course, I understand a lot of people used to think that, let me say a lot of us international students think that wherever we go, the education can become very easy somewhere. Or let me say, some people do think that Africa has a difficult system in terms of education, or let me say, if you leave your home country to study abroad is relatively easy. That is a fat lie. All right, that notion is not what it seems to be. All right, those people telling you that it is easy out there to study is a lie. Let me tell you, if you are in Europe, you have to read, especially Northern Cyprus. You have to read and read until you pass your exam. Alright, so did I make some sense to you? So if you intend to go to Northern Cyprus, know that you are going to read, okay? It is not easy the way some people will tell you. You are going to read, so you have to understand that, alright? Reading is part of what you are going to be doing. So the second thing did I tell you about reading? Yeah, you are going to read, and the second thing you need to know is that you are going to write. Jeez, let me tell you something. The first time when I was in Northern Cyprus, the first exam I wrote, my grades were not good. According to, if you are my friend and I show you my transcript, you go through it, you are going to understand that. The first year I moved to this country, my grades were not good. And the reason was because I never had understood, or let me say, I didn't understand what was happening, alright? It was until the second semester that I knew what the teachers needed from me, and let me say, what the lecturers wanted. So, the thing I'm going to talk about now, sorry, did I just yawn? Yes, I did. Sorry about that, guys. So now, you need to understand that if you are going to this country, okay, you are going to read and write, alright? It is not a matter of you must read and you must write, okay? There is a course I was doing, it was called, this course is Biomaterials and Drug Delivery. Alright, if you go to CIU and go to the rectorate's office, the assistant advisor to the rectorate is the lady who was teaching me that course. I don't want to mention her name here. Alright, she is a lecturer of genetics and things like that. So she used to teach. In fact, the thing is, in the exams, if you don't write and write what you read, I'm sorry to tell you that you will not be able to make it to 50 marks plus, alright, on 100. So in Northern Cyprus, you are going to read. It's not only her course. There are other lecturers that when they give you an assignment or ask you to define something, you don't read. Let me say you don't write, okay? Especially what they gave you in class, you have finished. That is just the truth. The next thing is that you can't plagiarize stuff, alright? Plagiarism is a crime everywhere, as I know, though there are some countries that does not have these systems, but I know that there is a software, or there are some softwares that works hand in gloves with plagiarism, okay? So most of the lecturers, especially the top lecturers that are dealing with master's degree students, they usually use some of these websites, or let me say softwares, to detect plagiarism. And remember, you cannot copy what somebody wrote, okay? You have to write your own words. You have to put things in your own ways, okay, before you can present to somebody, okay? So if you plagiarize a review paper, a journal, or whatsoever article, you are going to be penalized for that in Northern Cyprus. It doesn't work like that anywhere, as I know, okay? It doesn't work like that. Then again, there is going to be a point where you are going to become frustrated. Yes, I understand that. being frustrated, or if you are like becoming frustrated, I understand it usually happens because there is a point where you will reach, it will be like the load is around your neck. Okay, you need to release it. So frustration is part of education, and I really do understand this. Okay, guys, sorry, I'm yawning. I'm not a bit strong these days. I have some internal issues disturbing me, so my system is not that balanced, but I must try to do some content, so that some videos, so that I can keep my audience moving on my channel. So you must read, you must write, you can't plagiarize. Okay, you will become frustrated. These are some of the four first reasons. And you also have to understand that masters is independent. Masters is independent in the sense that, let me say, if you at the bachelor's level, when I was doing bachelor's, that was back then in 2014, 2015, during my research, we used to be in a group that we go for field work and things like that, exposes, field trips and things like that. But when I was doing masters, I was working alone. Okay, even my supervisor never had time for me, though he always checks what I was doing. But remember, master's degree is independent research. Okay, you work alone. Yeah, you might have somebody to guide you. You can have someone who is going to be teaching you, especially in Northern Cyprus. It is independent research. Okay, there is a point you will become frustrated. I passed through that point. There was a certain day I almost shouted at my lecturer, the person who was in charge of my research. Okay, let me say my supervisor. I almost shouted. It was just because I knew it was not my position to do that, and it wasn't good to do that. So I had to hold my temperature back. You will become frustrated at certain points, but I'm not here to discourage you. Okay, so if you intend to study, just keep moving. It is never easy. Even those with PhD degrees, how did they get it? It is always they are just calm and moving. Okay, keep calm and you keep moving. Then the other thing you have to know is that lecturers have interest in your growth, especially in let me say, I don't want to say lecturers in our home countries don't have interest in our success, but what I noticed was that most of these lecturers out there, especially lecturers in Cyprus International University, they have interest in your growth. Sometimes they will even message you, call you on phone, write you emails, repeated emails, okay, to find out what is happening. If you are, let me say, when I started research, there becomes it came to this time where I wasn't like going to see my supervisor. So there was a day he wrote me, I didn't reply. An email he wrote, I didn't reply. It was the next day I saw the email. Then he had to come to my WhatsApp and wrote a message to me that why am I not replying, am I okay, and things like that. So they always want to find out if you have difficulties and things like that. So that's what I say, they have genuine interest in your growth, okay, and success while you are staying in school. So these are some of the things you need to know. Again, you have to do a lot of case studies. Okay, there are going to be some points in time where you will be forced to do a lot of let me say practical work. Practical works also do matters here, right? And in Northern Cyprus there is a lot of practical work. Okay, there's a lot of case studies. You, let me say, if you have something to do in Famagusta or Kyrenia or Nicosia City or whatsoever, okay, they are first of all going to start from the laboratory if it has to do with the tissues and all the rest, because I had to experience this. There was a time I was doing tissue engineering, okay, so some of these cultures, the bacterial cultures, or let me say the bacteria, were being shown to us from the microscope. Those that were to be preserved, those that couldn't be kept isolated, were placed in incubators, okay, and we were taking them from incubators, observing. Those that were taken from sample bags, we were also observing. Those that were taken from the field, so most of these things you are going to be doing practical work, research, and all the rest. All right, so you have to be used to that while you study in Northern Cyprus, because these are some of the things, especially if you are a science student. Okay, well, let me say, if you are in the arts science department, you are going to be doing some of these things, so you have to understand that. Again, it gets easier when you stabilize. As I said at the beginning of this video, when I traveled to this country to study, during my first semester, I didn't perform well. But as time moves on, okay, during the second and third semesters, that was when I started scoring a list of A grades, okay, in my courses. It wasn't because I had changed my department, no, it was just because I understood the system, all right, and as I was moving in, I understood what was required of me, so I had to change my approach and my procedures, okay. That was why I had to score some of these grade marks, so it becomes easier when you stabilize and you are moving forward. Again, you have to know that universities in Northern Cyprus are not that expensive compared to some other countries like the United Kingdom and America and Canada, all right? But it is somehow expensive compared to some universities in Germany and Norway, because Germany and Norway has absolutely free tuition fee. Okay, if you are opportune to study in a public university in Germany or Norway, you can't pay, or let me say you will not be paying tuition fee, all right? That is what was put in place by their government. But Northern Cyprus is an island, all right, that is still trying to grow. So their universities, compared to those free universities in Germany and Norway, Northern Cyprus universities are expensive. But compared to the United Kingdom, Canada, and America, and some other countries like Sweden, Northern Cyprus is cheap, okay? So it is going to be expensive if you want to compare it to these countries that are offering free education. But all in all, you have to understand that if you are studying in Northern Cyprus, or if you intend to study in Northern Cyprus, you have to read, you have to write, you will become frustrated, all right? Your lecturers will have interest in your growth, okay? It will obviously becomes easier when you stabilize and lecturers have genuine interest, as I said, okay? So these are some of the things some people won't tell you, but about Northern Cyprus, you are going to read, you are going to write, you are going to do a lot of research, a lot of exposés, all right? When I was doing, I think there was one course I did 8 this thing presentation, all right? Before I have to write 2 exams, 3 CAs for that same course, all right, to be evaluated on 100. Can you imagine? Where is the time? You have to spend more time reading journal papers, review papers, articles in order to get information for presentation, okay, and also for your exams. Because I remember there was another course where I had to read just journal papers and review papers to go write the course, and there were some other courses that I had to follow how the procedures were done, especially when it comes to some calculations on YouTube. Can you imagine? So there are a lot of things you have to do as a student in Northern Cyprus in order to succeed, all right? So thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing. If you are new, this is the Anointing Village Boy, and my name is Milton Fonkwa. All right, thank you so much guys for watching, and see you in another episode. Bye bye.